The district attorney in Rochester, New York, followed the advice she was given on this program last night by a former upstate New York federal prosecutor.
Now to a developing story here in the city of Rochester. Unfair and out of line. That's what 3 teens are calling their recent arrest.
Arrested in Rochester, New York last week while committing the crime of waiting while black.
Their families say they have never been in trouble before and they shouldn't be in trouble now.
They are members of the Edison Tech High School basketball team who were waiting for their school bus to take them to a scrimmage basketball game on Wednesday morning. At 8:43 a.m., they were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct for obstructing pedestrian traffic on this sidewalk.
We tried to tell him that we was waiting for the bus, but we wasn't catching the city bus, we was catching the yellow bus. And he didn't care. He arrested us anyways.
These young men were doing nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. And still and yet, they get arrested.
Under federal civil rights laws, there have been cases in the Second Circuit that have gone a lot further on a lot less facts than that. If I was in law enforcement in Rochester, I'd be thinking about issuing apologies and dismissing charges.
Today, the Monroe County District Attorney said in a statement, after reviewing the facts associated with these arrests, I have decided to dismiss the charges in the interest of justice. Joining me now is James Peterson, Director of Africana Studies and Associate Professor of English at Lehigh University. He's also an MSNBC contributor. James, this looked like the outcome that had to happen as the pressure mounted on this. After our program last night, the mayor of Rochester came out this morning against this thing. And I'll tell you, I was deliberately on this show last night, doing everything I could, including booking Dan French, former U.S. Attorney for upstate New York, to push this prosecutor back and to push the police back on this arrest.
And listen, kudos to you, your show, and the producers for making this national news. I mean, we got to give credit where it's due. Really important here, Lawrence, because at the end of I'm teaching a class right now on black prison narratives. So I'm like studying Michelle Alexander and studying the narratives about prison systems in the United States. And essentially, we have a really aggressive criminal justice system that's racially biased, that profiles young black and brown men, profiles people of color, profiles women of color. And at the end of the day, we have got to have media and other institutions step up to shine a light on it, because these 3 young men, thank God, are going to be exonerated for doing absolutely nothing. But unfortunately, the aggressiveness of this system filters and fills too many people into it, too many young folk who can't get out of it, who don't have the Lawrence O'Donnell show, the last word to come on and say, hey, look, this is wrong. So at the end of the day, this is a key issue. Mass incarceration, the prison industrial complex are some of the most important challenges that we face as a nation. And when you want to think about like racial bias and institutional racism, that's where it lives and breathes. At the end of the day, those police officers thought they were doing their job when they saw those young men. And this goes back to like the black codes. It goes back to moments in history that we look back on and say, wow, we don't want to be that America. We are that America.
You know, technology plays such a role in this. When you think about the Rodney King case, the reason we knew about that was the then relatively new technology of home video.
That's right.
The reason this got national attention, these kinds of cases, you know, happen all over the country, no national attention. Audra McDonald tweeted about this story yesterday.
That's right.
That's how I found out about it, following her tweet. So from Twitter, it made its way into a national television program that you know they were watching, because when the former U.S. Attorney of the Northern District comes on and tells them what he's thinking, they're taking notes up there. But all of that happened because of this new form of attention that we get to bring to these cases.
And this is an important piece of the equation. Listen, Rochester has a rich history, right? Frederick Douglass's grave is in Rochester. So there's a rich history of race and racial issues. But people think about social media sometimes and they dismiss it. They think it's not important. They think it's like young people playing around on Twitter or Facebook. But there are social movements that occur on social media. And this is a great case in point. We can raise awareness around social justice issues, the prison industrial complex, mass incarceration, institutional racial bias, and we have media platforms now to shine that light. It's very, very important how this happens.
The thing is that the bad actors in those places have to know that people are watching. They are empowered. Everyone's empowered with a camera, a video camera. Everybody can tweet. The word can
and
get
you're
out.
On Twitter.
And the word can get out. James Peterson, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you.